Hey, what's up everybody? It's Flux with fluxwithit.com, and today I'm here to show you Blue 2 by Papen. Blue 2 is a very awesome synth, extremely powerful. This thing is just ridiculous when it comes to the way that you can route things, like routing the oscillators into each other for FM synthesis, or just the raw wave types. You have 6 different oscillators in this thing. You've got 2 filters with 27 different filter types in each. You've got arpeggiators, you've got XY pads that you can map things to, 4 different effects processors that have 35 effects types inside of those. So extremely powerful, super flexible, and browsing is very easy on it. It has a quick browse function, so you can go by style, or you can go by the preset numbers or a favorites group. It's very easy to save presets and, just basically get into whatever you want with it. So each oscillator can be turned on or off by these little clicky buttons up here. You can set your tracking, you can invert the wave, you can let it be a free running oscillator. You can get into the ratios and your filter destinations, or where the where the oscillator is heading. So this is basically your routing for each oscillator right here. You can do your tuning, of course. Each oscillator has a sub-oscillator, even if you're using a sample. So, for instance, this is a square wave. And here, let's turn this off. So you can adjust your sub-oscillator there. You can adjust the shape, feedback. You've got pulse width modulation, symmetry, spread, and drift. So with spread, you can make one oscillator sound like multiple. Very nice. You've got your filters down here. So look at all these different filter types. I mean, you're just spoiled with choices inside of this. And of course, everything maps out inside of Machine Studio very nicely as well. When you go to the controller, and I'll move the GUI out of the way here, you can see that everything is labeled very clearly on the controller, and you can just scroll through and see basically where everything is at and just jump right into it. So you've got plenty of controls right at your fingertips, and you can just kind of adjust things up. For instance, the volumes of the oscillators. If I want to turn on another oscillator, I can just click here. And let's change the oscillator type. Bring this up. We'll bring this through filter A. Very easy to build super thick, lush sounds. Also, when you're using this, you can dive into, it has XY pads so that you can assign different parameters all through it and manipulate them. Now let's just scroll through some patches here, and I'll show you some different pads first, just randomly. And it does have an arpeggiator as well. We can go over here, get into some arps. Let's check out some of the basses. And it's very easy just to tweak things like, you know, a filter just to completely change the character. Very easy to just dive right into this thing. Another interesting thing about this is some of these presets have full-on sequences with them. You can get into multiple envelopes here. You can even draw your own. So just very flexible. You can see all your mods down in here, and you can arrange them differently. You can see your sequencer inside of here. You can decide whether you want it to loop or if you just want it to be a single strike, or if you want it to go forward and backwards. So this is just extremely flexible as far as VSTs are concerned. What I also really enjoy about this is, let me just pull up a simple we'll pull up like a simple lead sound, or here we go. Simple. Now, one thing that you can do with this is, let's go back here. You can see the FM synthesis going on in here. You can play with that and change things around. Very easy to do these different routings, and if you want to change them around, you can just right click over here on one of the oscillators and decide where you want to send it. So let's so you can go from essentially, you know, a minimalist default patch like so. So now all I have is a sine oscillator going on, and I can dive right in and just get into some really wacky sounds. So we'll just quickly go ahead and build up this sound. Take this down a bit. So it's just very easy to dive in and do these things. And then when you jump in, you can get straight into your effects over here, start adding on effects chains. So you can do delays. We'll go ahead and bring this in here. Oh. So it's extremely easy to route things just by selecting your destinations and move through. I was up and running on this thing pretty darn quick. I've only had this for a couple days and I've already just pretty much fallen in love with how deep you can go into this, and I'm still discovering more every day. One of the things that I found about this that really surprised me was just the fact that it's not about just, you know, most of these synths today are kind of emulating older style synths, but with this, with all these different types of oscillators and everything that you can use, you're really unlimited as far as the kinds of sounds that you want to create, be it percussion or, you know, a pad or a lead or whatever you want to do. You can pretty much do it inside of here without too much effort. So pretty surprising. We'll run through a couple more sounds. Very cinematic. So again, just super deep. Just wanted to show you guys a quick preview of this. I'm still learning it myself, but it's just ridiculously awesome how you can go in and tweak every little sound inside of here and just make them do whatever you want, really. So anyway, this is Flux with fluxwithit.com. Stay tuned. I'm going to do some more on Blue 2 as I get to know it, but I had to share this one with you. Peace.